It's the end of the 2022 season!
And we want to share with you some of the cool stuff we got to do this year.
So 2022 was a really busy year for us. After having a couple of slow years with our volunteers due to COVID, we were really excited to get back out and get some people on the ground to help us with all of our amazing projects.
We facilitated 10 cleanups, had 11 plantings, did 9 education sessions, we had 5 fishing weeks, 12 seal monitoring weeks, we performed 9 red surveys, and we did so much more. The biggest of our cleanups were at Marsh Creek in May, Partridge Island in June, Long Island in August, and Randolph Island in October.
We had some terrific tree plantings this year. Thanks to our staff and our wonderful volunteers, we planted over 2,000 trees in the greater Saint John area. Together with some of our great partners, we were able to plant over 2,000 trees with some community organizations and some funding support from Tree Canada, RPC, TD, and Port of Saint John.
We also planted over 200 native plants at our Seaside Park depave site from last year. It was so great to see how many people came out to support us, connect with nature, and help beautify such a great part of our city.
This year, as part of the Harbour Baseline Project, we monitored harbour seals by counting the number of seals that were hauled out at low tide using spotting scopes or binoculars, and occasionally using drone footage. Once in a while, we've had some special guests come along with us, and they definitely enjoyed the hiking portion.
Throughout the summer, we monitored fish communities at 8 different sites around Saint John Harbour. At these sites, we set up a bike net for 24 hours, where we came back the next day to measure, ID, and release fish back into the streams where we caught them. This data gives us really great information on species and the fish communities at a specific time point, as well as aids us in understanding the health of the ecosystems.
Education is really important for us at ACAP. Usually, our educational content is broken into a few different subjects depending on the audience. When we present to schools, we usually focus on climate change and what actions kids can take to be one step closer to sustainability. Other times, companies reach out and have an ACAP team member come in and talk about what ACAP is and what we do, and let them know about volunteer opportunities they can get in on.
Restoration work, lots and lots of tree plantings, and lots of community cleanups and everything else in between.
Snorkel surveys are a great way for us to accomplish a few things. Firstly, we're looking for salmon when we're doing these surveys, as well as other fish species and salmon reds. Salmon reds are salmon nests where they lay their eggs. It's always great when we find salmon reds because these reds are of the endangered interbay fundy salmon, which are at low population levels in these watersheds.
We also got to be part of some great events happening in Saint John this year. We had an installation at Third Shift, the Outdoor Contemporary Art Festival, and we were set up at local markets like at Queen Square Farmers Market and at the Area 506 Container Village. Thanks to everyone who came out to say hello.
We did a lot of work at Glen Falls Elementary School this year with the help of volunteers from NBCC and of course the Glen Falls students and staff. we planted a rain garden, created 2 infiltration trenches, and planted 5 trees in the school year to help dry out the property and make a more enjoyable place for kids to play.
In September, Aiden and I were fortunate enough to join the Students on Ice Ocean Conservation Expedition for a week. This took place in the Bay of Fundy. We were able to help the Passamaquoddy First Nations in their microplastics project just outside of St. Andrews, where we set a lobster trap. We collected the trap the next day and we measured, sexed, and banded the lobsters. These lobsters were then going to be analyzed in the lab.
This year we were really excited to co-host the Saint John or Willistook River Summit here in Saint John. We brought in a great selection of panelists and over 80 participants came out to listen to what everybody has been up to the last few years all throughout the Willistook watershed. We were even able to bring people out to some of our amazing restoration sites throughout the greater Saint John area for people to get a better idea of what's been going on in our area.
2022 has been an impressive year for ACAP, not only because we could finally have volunteer events again since COVID, but also because we celebrated our 30th anniversary. Our AGM was a big event. We invited as many current and past members of ACAP team and board as possible. We also released some 30th anniversary merch